The last time I did an Acky Bright study, the video went viral. It made 584 gigazillion views and other art became a YouTube sensation. And so here I am doing it again. This time the reference is this.
Let's start with the sketch.
As always, the sketch is a bit rough, but not too much. I like to define shapes and proportions at this stage, so that I only have to follow the lines when inking and concentrate on the details and textures. The sketch took around 40 minutes. I always try to do it as fast as I can because I can't wait to ink. It's my favorite part. And now that the sketch is finished, I can finally ink.
But first some tea.
I always like to have a cup of tea or coffee next to me when I draw. It gives me an extra boost. Okay, now, let's ink. When I have to ink a character, I usually like to start inking the head. There's no particular reason for this, just habit. And after that random ladybug attack, we can go back to the drawing. Actually, while you see the video of my drawing, I would like to tell you a little about Acky Bright and why I appreciate him and his art so much. First of all, there are elements in his art that I adore and I would like to make my own, such as characters with mechanical parts, the combination of characters and strange creatures, the dynamism of the poses and the use of black and white. His art is apparently simple because the characters are very stylized and there are not many shadows and detailed textures. Acky Bright prefers to make his character designs stand out through very recognizable silhouette. He does not focus so much on details but on shapes. Moreover, he never draws banal scenes. There is always plenty of action or an interesting angle or contrast in the composition that strikes the viewer. Another important element in his art is that the characters that he portrays are very often a mix of cute and cool. Acky Bright usually draws girls with tender expressions, but at the same time they are tough, strong. Many of the things that I say were stated by Acky Bright himself in a wonderful documentary that you can find on Archipel channel here on YouTube. I really recommend you watch it if you're interested in Acky Bright's art. During the interview, he says that he wants to create art that has an impact on the viewer. He tries to create illustrations that arouse something in the viewer, that affect him. Acky Bright also talks about the influences he has had and which clearly transpire in his works. They are Katsuya Terada and Akira Toriyama. Above all, the similarity with Terada's art is striking. Acky Bright says that he never tried to copy his style, but he was certainly influenced by his art because it is one of his main artistic inspirations and he saw as many Terada's live drawing events as he possibly could. He says that he probably saw so many Terada's illustrations that he was unconsciously influenced by them while doing his own art. He also says, and this is what struck me most about Acky Bright's words, that he never tried to copy Terada's art, but rather his mindset. The idea of drawing non-stop for the sheer pleasure of it. Drawing not for fame, for money or for others, but for yourself. Because you have a strong passion burning inside you and you have the need to express it through drawing. These sentences by Acky Bright struck me, and I honestly saw myself in them. At the moment I am caught up in university and I don't have much time to dedicate to drawing. Sometimes I feel that the only things that I want to do are draw and playing guitar. But I don't have the courage or strength to give up what I'm doing and devote myself entirely to art and music. Don't get me wrong, I like what I'm doing at university, astrophysics is beautiful and fascinating. I'm just not convinced 100% that it's my way. These thoughts grow stronger when I am under pressure to prepare for heavy exams that require 8 or 10 hours a day of studying. In addition, I am not good at organizing myself, I do many things at times scattered, so I tend to study at the last minute and not consistently during classes. I like to attend lectures a lot, but less studying than at home. This means that I always find myself under pressure during the exam session, and my passion for physics becomes a pain. While recording this voiceover, I am exactly in this situation. Sometimes it's better for passions and hobbies to remain as such. When you turn them into work, you really realize whether you are passionate enough to hold on or it becomes a burden and you lose the pleasure of doing that activity. This also held me back from pursuing an art career. It's not necessarily that I really enjoy drawing for 8 hours a day, every day. Maybe I would lose the pleasure of drawing just as I did with physics to some extent. Well, time will tell. Now enough existential doubts, let's go back to the drawing. I drew this background because I felt the character was too white, but I can't use colors like grays on the character because the paper is too thin, and I wanted to highlight it in relation to the background. Besides, I love this line pattern, and this way I also make this drawing similar to the previous one, on which I did a similar background. Okay, we are almost at the end now. The last thing I did after adding a few details was to highlight the robotic arm. I really like when this kind of arm is yellow, so I grabbed a few pencils with different yellow tones and colored it. In these cases, yellow and orange are my favorite choices. I also thought it was cool to have a single colored part on this black and white drawing to create a nice contrast. The pencils I'm using are super basic. Sadly, I don't have high quality pencils like Caran d'Ache or Prismacolor. And of course my little cat Poochu has to walk on the just finished drawing, as always. And now, finally, let's see the
final result.
As always, if you followed this far, thank you very much. I really hope you liked the drawing and the video in general. If so, please tell me in the comments, drop a like and also consider to subscribe to see future videos. These little things help me immensely. Thanks for watching and
Goodbye!